Welcome back to the Stretford Inn, everyone. How are you guys feeling? Me, myself, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive. It's a brilliant weekend that we had. And of course, we're also looking forward to another awesome game in the week on Wednesday in the Champions League at Atletico Madrid Stadium. A definite big game. And of course, we will see the return of Champions League Varane and of course, Mr. Champions League himself, Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7. However, before we move on to that, today I'm going to focus on the Roses derby we had against Leeds United at Elland Road just a few days ago. And I have to say, what a brilliant performance. What a wonderful game to watch. And even though we conceded 2 goals early in the second half, we definitely decided to, build from there. Our character was shown, the mentality that we needed was definitely shown after a topsy-turvy few weeks, where questions were asked about our team's, mental stability, our team's, unitedness. But we saw ourselves, as Ralph Ragnick said, a perfect response to all these rumors, that are flying around in the papers saying that there are, a captaincy battle between Maguire and Ronaldo, the little cliques that we have, dividing the dressing room. But this game basically showed that these players can play together, that they definitely can, rise above the challenge, that they can turn a team over, definitely should they have the confidence. And of course, the confidence was there after a wonderful, win and a clean sheet against Brighton. We definitely pushed on from there and looked more confident on the ball. We did start the game quite slowly, I have to say. Leeds United were pushing quite hard in the early stages of the first half, and it kind of showed a bit of our frailties because we did start a bit slow. We did start, less attack-minded than then. We would have, of course, wanted to start quicker, but that was not to be. A lot of changes were made to the starting 11, probably and mainly because of our Champions League game tomorrow night against Atletico Madrid, resting a few players such as Varane, etc., etc. And we saw Lindelof and Maguire come in. We actually did well in the first half, to be honest. Credit where credit is due for Harry Maguire and his wonderful, performance that he had. Yes, and I can say with true honesty that both goals that were conceded are not his fault. And that is a welcome change. However, we know Maguire is not, a consistent player. But hopefully now after the win against Brighton with a clean sheet and a good and decent performance against, Leeds United, he can definitely kick on. And perhaps tomorrow night, which he definitely will be starting as our captain against Atletico Madrid, he surely, can build on these performances because his confidence is up. A wonderful goal by him scored, however, after 140 corners that the stats have said that we finally scored one corner for this season, and it was a header from Harry Maguire. What a confidence booster for him as well, after all of the rumors that, came out in the week prior to the Leeds game. It basically showed, his mental growth and that, he took the game by the scruff of the neck, and definitely decided to put his head on the ball and put it away. And should we do that continuously, as he said himself, in his post-match conference, his post-match interview, he basically said that if we basically scored more goals from corners and set pieces, we definitely would be higher up in the table. And that is true to testament, because we've seen in games before and games gone, Maguire winning the header but not putting it into the back of the net or getting it on target. However, that was changed against Leeds United with a brilliant crossing from Luke Shaw, definitely headed in by Harry Maguire, putting us 1-0 ahead, giving us the confidence that we need. And then moving along, brilliant play, for the second goal of Bruno Fernandes to go 2-0 ahead. An absolutely brilliant 1-2 play by Lindelof. I think Lindelof was quite excellent in the game once again and should start alongside Varane for tomorrow night's game in the Champions League. But of course, Maguire will be starting and Varane will definitely have to come back. There's no questions asking. There's no doubt about that. But Lindelof had a wonderful game against Leeds, playing an excellent 1-2 with Jadon Sancho, then continuing to make his run forward, completely breaking the defensive line that Leeds United had, and then trying to play, man for man marking, whether having the ball and also, counter-attacking us. They couldn't, because Lindelof left his position, left his man behind, and he was free. And of course, that meant an extra person from the back, perhaps a, strike or Llorente from Leeds United at the back, had to come out of position to close down Lindelof, and Sancho, getting the space on the outside, beautifully and delicately chipping it over for Bruno Fernandes to head in at close range, which is basically a tap-in, putting us 2-0 ahead, basically game over, or so we thought. But of course, it showed that we had control of the game after that. Our players looked confident on the ball. Paul Pogba, in my opinion, was close to being man of the match, until he got taken off due to, as Ragnick said, his tiredness. However, I don't believe that is the case. I believe Ragnick perhaps wanted to, rest him for tomorrow night's game in the Champions League, which I do believe Pogba will be starting once again with Bruno in midfield as the 2-8s. However, moving along, into the second half, it was quite nerve-wracking, to be honest, because for the past 2 games that we played, immediately we were, pegged back after halftime, and this was evidently shown in our performances, as Ragnick said himself, pure luck from Rodrigo with, the cross-come shot that he took that beat the gear. But of course, with better positioning, the gear could have caught it comfortably. He could have, preserved his clean sheet, so to say. But again, he was caught out, and after being, as I've said before, the player of the month for January, it kind of showed, that there are improvements that the gear can make in his game. Now, I don't want to hear things like, oh, get Henderson in, put him in the polls, the gear's crap. Probably not. It was just one of those free goals, as we, see from time to time in the football world. And of course, their second goal, I know I said this in the preview, I did not want Daniel James to score, but he ended up he ended up assisting, the goal to bring it back to 2-2 that Rafinha put in at the back post. Now, here is my gripe about this goal. In my opinion, we were kind of shell-shocked after the free goal that went in, and Leeds took that as an opportunity to drive at us, which they did immediately after the kickoff, and Luke Shaw fell asleep at the far post. I don't want to see guys blaming Wan-Bissaka, who had an excellent game in my opinion. Wan-Bissaka was fantastic at the back, as we know, as always. But going forward, he seemed to be a bit more better. He does seem to be improving, but I would still love to see Delo starting over him, because Wan-Bissaka still has much more to learn from his game going forward. And it's not Wan-Bissaka's fault, Rafinha's goal. It's not Maguire's fault. It's not Lindelof's fault. It's not even De Gea's fault. It is Luke Shaw's fault for not being awake at the back post and covering his man that is coming on his outside. Had he dealt with that, had he seen the man, had he known where to be positionally, he would have been able to clear the ball easily, and even if the roll right past him to go out, and he could have probably, go out for a line, or we could have built up play from that for a counter attack. However, all ifs, buts, could haves, and maybes, it was 2-2, and we decided to regroup. We didn't look like we were panicking. We didn't look as if we were going to be a bit, shaky at the back for Leeds to come and push on for the third. However, Ragnick then decided to make changes, as we all saw, bringing on Fred and Elland, and the two of them brought energy to the game. Elland started stretching Leeds United's defence, who were quite tired, and pushing for the winner, thus creating space for Jadon Sancho, for Bruno, and for Ronaldo, etc. But after Ronaldo came off as well, it basically showed that Leeds didn't know who to mark anymore, because you didn't have that number 9 staying up front. Our players moved quite a lot right around the pitch, causing confusion for the Leeds defence, thus ensuring that players such as Fred could get a clean breakthrough from midfield, bursting onto the scene as the extra man. And of course, again, wonderful counter-attacking play, and Jadon Sancho just laying it onto his left-hand side for Fred to put it in at the near post. Of course, Melia could have done better, but fantastically well done by Sancho to lay it onto Fred, and Fred putting it away for 3-2, completely changing the game. Now Leeds United had to push on, had to open up for more space, and this was evident, when we scored the 4th goal. Absolutely brilliant touch by Bruno Fernandes to beat strike, and then of course just laying it nicely into Elanga's pathway to place it underneath Melia's legs, putting it in for 4-2, and an absolutely brilliant celebration, good camaraderie, good team spirit. Glory, glory, Man United. We are united. Most definitely. It showed that there are improvements being made under Ragnick, and that we can and definitely will continue to improve. The players' confidence are up, their morale has been boosted, and what a brilliant team performance to have especially after the players can now see that Ragnick made changes that were positive, that changed the game for the team. And they will soon, and basically because of that, have more confidence in Ragnick. Of course, we know Ragnick won't be our coach, in the new season. But of course, this will make them believe in his philosophy, believe in his instructions, believe in what he says for the benefit of the team. And it showed. The changes were positive, and it definitely changed the game for us. Of course, many of us, like myself, thought to yourself, oh, why is Parkman coming off? One of the best players on the pitch today is by far. And then we understood that we needed more energy in midfield. Ragnick saw something we didn't see. He saw that Pogba was perhaps getting a bit tired. But a brilliant all-round team performance, great character shown, mental strength definitely has grown within the team. And I believe that the team now has more confidence in each other, to pass, to play that risky ball, to trust someone on the ball. And of course, we can only kick on from here for the next Premier League game, which will be against Watford. But we'll definitely do a preview for that. I thank you guys for joining me. I trust that you guys, of course, are having a good day thus far. Don't forget to continue to follow us on TikTok, follow us on Twitter, and also follow us on Instagram, so we can grow the Manchester United channel to a much bigger community and reach every Manchester United supporter out there. Of course, I do definitely also want to say, continue to like the videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel so we can grow, as I've said before, and just share it to all your Manchester United supporters out there, friends or family. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is it, me, Sasson Johnson from the Stretford End. Goodbye.